look at the impact here, Vanessa laid out a little bit of what could happen. What's your take on the big picture? Which industries in the U.S. could be hit the hardest?
Basically, everything consumers buy is going to have some impact. So we import a lot of produce, for example, from Mexico. Huge amount of produce. That's part of the reason why we're able to get year-round raspberries and so many of those delicious avocados that Americans love to eat. We get a lot of our food from Mexico. In fact, for avocados specifically, 90% of them come from Mexico. Of the fresh tomatoes that Americans buy, 2/3 of them come from Mexico. So yes, as it pertains to Donald Trump's promise that he would lower grocery prices, this is somewhat at odds with that. Not only grocery prices, gasoline. So the entire petroleum industry is very integrated across North America. We both import and export crude and refined products to, particularly to Canada, also to Mexico. Remember, in fact, that Donald Trump often laments the end of the Keystone Pipeline, which would have imported more oil from Canada to the United States. If we raise tariffs on all Canadian goods, including crude oil, that's going to raise the price of gasoline, something like 25 to 75 cents per gallon across the Midwest, which relies heavily on gasoline, on oil products coming from Canada. So those are just a couple of examples. But, a lot of the housing industry relies on Canadian lumber, Canadian cement. Certainly U.S. jobs are at risk here too, even before we get into the possible retaliation from these other countries, because, for example, the U.S. auto industry, again, is integrated across these three countries that we're talking about. Lots of auto parts and cars themselves go back and forth across borders with Mexico and with Canada. So all of those U.S. jobs are going to be at risk, in addition to the higher prices for consumers. So yes, if he carries out this threat, it would be disastrous.
Well, the big if, right, which is what we'll be